That's what, There we are. Now we're live.
There we go. Oh wow, there's like 10 people in the room already.
I know!
It's like so many people already there.
They're making me feel all warm and fuzzy inside the pre-chat.
Yeah, awesome sauce. Boom sauce, as Biswees would say.
Take a drink. Hang on.
I do not have an alcoholic beverage with me today. I'll get one at the first break. I'll get myself a beer.
I was going to say, you don't have an alcoholic beverage with you. Then who are you and what did you do with Neil Andrew Air?
I'll go grab myself a beer at the first break. Yeah, for sure. Oh wow.
6 concurrent viewers and 6 likes.
It's gone from 10 down to 8.
Nah, it's all good. I just thought that was fun to see.
Zylo.
Zylo's in the room? What's going on, Zylo?
Zylo's in his house.
I'm a banana. That's a thing
I just want to see who's in chat. Let's see. Obviously Hellenics. And we've got Schnarman. We've got Landon Dubes. We've got Dr. Feelgood. You. B Coots. Ouchie Dumpling.
By the way, Schnarman.
Zylo from Takedown Games.
Schnarman and Landon, 2 of our new Patreons. Thank you very much, guys.
My God, Ouchie's in. Ouchie, he loves the Scottish accent.
The Scottish accent.
How you doing, wee lassie? Oh, you having a good day?
If it's not Scottish, it's crap. Oh man, so much to talk about.
Oh,
so much with so little.
Yeah.
I should.
Oh yeah. Today is going to be one of my critical days.
I will reserve how I'm going to be until we start the show. But we do have the event calendar.
Yeah. Last game.
And we do have that Galactic Legends already broke.
Yes. What broke as in it's out or broke as in?
It broke something.
Oh right, it broke something today. Oh well, you'll have to tell me.
No, we'll get there.
We'll get there. One of Ouchie's favourite movies is probably Train Spotting.
I did like that movie, except for the what do you call it? The scene with the bed sheet. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, no, the scene with the bed sheet was. Okay, we're a minute from there, so let's go silent.
We're going silent.
See you on the other side, everyone.
Hi, I'm Timothy Zahn, author of Thrawn, and you're listening to the Escape Podcast. This episode was recorded in front of a live studio audience.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast,
Galactic Legends have finally hit the holotables.
it's new content for those that can even play it.
You mean you can't see it, Paul? You're the whale of the two of us.
I mean, I can see a whole bunch of red dots on my screen telling me to upgrade things.
I thought we were called the Escape Whale Podcast.
Well, we are in some ignorant circles.
A new title update hits the holotables just like it does every March.
Ooh, this is the annual quality of life update.
If you like to sell your mods, it is.
So you're telling me... Nah, I'm just gonna save this for the show.
All right, well, our own test account whale, Thaddeus, from Going Nerdy, sits down with us in our incoming transmission.
We also talked to him about all the fun things we can do every weekend that nerd culture gives us something to watch as well.
And we continue our new segment, Patreon's Choice, with a fun game between Paul and I.
There's a certain threshold there for you to call something fun, Neil.
Don't get upset yet, Paul. All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Escape Pod Cast. I'm your host, Neil Andrea, and I'm joined by my hetero life mate and partner, Paul Anthony. Paul, how you doing today, buddy?
What's going on, Neil? Guys, welcome to the Escape Pod Cast. And, I don't know what's going on right there. What does it say that happened just now? Because I actually have this covered up, because I wanted to say we're currently at 760 subscribers on YouTube.
Woohoo.
We want to see that rise.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take that down now. There we go. Close that out. Now I'll be able to see what happens if somebody hits a button or donates.
Yeah, someone hits a button or donates, definitely we'll see it.
Yeah, if you donated just now and I missed it, I'm sorry. Thank you. If you subscribed, thank you. But nonetheless, guys, we are a podcast, not a video cast. So that's mainly just little visual things for you guys to enjoy, along with visual gags, just like this.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go, guys. We are on our push to 1,000. We're at 760, as I pointed out in the beginning. Let's see what we can do. Neil Andrew Eyre will lose his long hair to the Little Princess Foundation, along with another member of our group. DPK's giving away $50 and reciprocation of regrettable Zetas and Gear 13s. Sir Boss is doing stuff. Run DMV is doing stuff. If I missed your name, I honestly just want to get into the topics at hand this week instead of giving you guys the whole spiel. But help us out. Just hit the subscribe button. We're not wanting to get to 1,000 to inundate you with ads. You know what? Honestly, I get to 1,000. If this channel gets to 1,000 and I can tell it to not do ads, I'm gonna do that.
Well, we already talked about that, didn't we? I already said that when we hit the 1,000, it'd be didn't want to do ads. So
yeah, during live shows, essentially it's this: if we get to 1,000, we're not going to inundate you with ads during the live shows if I can help it. As far as the YouTube ads, all we want to do. And we talked about this on our Lego Escape podcast. All we want to do is just have that little super chat button right there, so you guys can throw something in the hat easier than having to deal with PayPal and Streamlabs and all that stuff. Because
at the end of the day, we're buskers. Yeah, at the end of the day, we're buskers. You know,
we are buskers. So
can we have some more, please, sir? Can we have some more, please, sir?
But we do this out of the love of our heart, because of our passion for the game, But that is a perfect segue, Neil. That passion is waning.
Oh yes, it is definitely. It has definitely been waning the past couple of days.
Or rather, this. Maybe not the passion is waning, but the patience is waning.
Yeah, patience would be a better word. Yeah, people's patience is starting to wane, especially after what happened this week.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know what you're talking about here, and
Everybody knows what we're talking about.
the big thing
It's
that
common
happened
knowledge.
this week was a server update on March 26th where they fixed an issue that could sometimes send special mission rewards for territory battles multiple times. I mean, I am sick and tired of other people getting territory battle rewards multiple times. But wait a minute. People were getting special mission rewards for territory battles multiple times. That means multiple cam mission stuff. That means multiple Wat Tambor shards. Okay, if people were doing that, this is where my patience snapped this week. If this was happening, CG, you didn't tell us that they took away these multiple awarded items. You aren't announcing any compensation for the rest of us who didn't take advantage of this possible glitch.
I'm not sure if I did. I'm not doing the battle anyway, so I don't know. I don't know if I took advantage of it. I don't know if I got doubles because I wasn't really looking at the prizes for the territory battles.
But the fact remains is that people getting multiple shards of something and them not taking it away or letting us know that they're taking it away.
Yeah, well, they could have just doubled it up for everybody else across the board. Everybody that did it.
So, all right. One thing I also have to do. We got the Escape Pod Yavin 4, my home guild, got caught up by getting matched up against the Dark Lord's Empire. They said that they came here to get Territory Wars updates.
Yeah, I just saw Darth Jar Jar.
Yep, currently Dark Lord's Empire is leading the Escape Pod Yavin 4, 8,390, leading them by 8,519. They're about to break through a wall that is set up on the south side of Jedi Knight Revan's. We are currently facing a wall of Darth Revan, while they're also going after the top, which happens to be a majority. It looks like a majority Night Sister is what we placed on that one, and then on their side, they placed a gigantic General Grievous wall. You know, that's taken out by attrition. So, you know, technically, Rick Stevens, you know, we're evenly matched up here. Here is the fun part about it all. So, me and the guild leader for Dark Lord's Empire put up a bet. Whoever's guild ends up winning or losing, quote unquote losing, because you have fun in this game. The other guild, the losing guild, has to admit that the other one is better in next week's intro.
Oh, interesting.
So
let's see what happens.
Rick is complimenting us, saying that we are really efficient. Well, I appreciate that. I truly do. Let's see how you fare once you get beyond these walls. That's all I'm going to say. All this is being recorded. I know. This is my show, Helenix. Helenix says, remember, all this is being recorded in the live chat as we're recording this. All right. So, yeah, that really honestly was the last straw for me in my patience this week is that they didn't say that they're taking away the stuff. They didn't say that they're going to, make an even playing field for other people.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's doing something that's shady and it affects the group as a whole, come on, fix it.
Yeah.
What
do you think it was that that caused the screw up, Paul? What was it you think that might have had some hand in this update screwing up territory wars? What do you think that might have been? Postulate a hypothesis. Form a hypothesis and hit me up with it.
My hypothesis is the title update that came down on March 25th, 24 hours previous. That title update that is usually the quality of life update. Get a quality of life update in March. We got to sim the pit raid. We got all sorts of little tools. I think it was mod loadouts that came in last March. I mean, the huge quality of life update, and it's a title update all the time, is March. Yeah. Guess what we got to do? Guess what it was?
What? Pray do tell.
We can sell mods.
We
can't
mods.
sell.
So you can roll the mod, have mod depression, and then delete it immediately afterwards. It's going to be fun watching Ranger do mod depression, because now every time he gets a mod and he rolls it, if he doesn't like it, he can sell it straight away.
Okay, that's fine. But how about this? How about instead of having to go to the upgrade screen to sell it, if you get a 4-dot mod out of an event challenge, you can sell the sucker right there on the reward screen.
Yeah, the reward screen is it's a different page. It'd be a different script. It'd be a different page script. So you wouldn't be able to do it on the same one. You'd only be able to do it. You're only going to be able to do it on the script that they've incorporated it into.
Okay, then fine. How about this then? How about if I can delete mods that are delivered to my inbox? How about that?
No, they've only QOL'd the main script for when you see mods, so you've got to be in the mod screen to do it. They're not going to update every single script of every single location where you might see a mod so that they can add it there. They've only done it to the one mod section. That's why it has to be done there.
But I can delete mail otherwise. Why can't I delete mail of a mod that I don't want?
Because they haven't QOL'd the scripts where you see the mods in those sections.
I'm going to tell you this. Neil. When it comes to things that Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes has helped me with, you know how some people have how some people, like our friend Sir Boss, he hates those little red circles on your cell phone.
Yeah, the notification marks. Yeah, those notification circles are annoying.
He absolutely hates those. But Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, because they have them on every single little character that can accept the Zetas that I currently am saving in reserve, and all those little green plus signs, I no longer have a obsessive compulsive disorder to clear them.
Yeah, no, me neither.
So thank you, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, for getting me over red dot phobia.
Well, it's done. It's out of the way. It's cleared. I'm not apologizing. I'm not being an apologist for CG. I'm just simply laying out the technicalities of why it's just on that screen and not in every single other individual location. That's just the way scripts are written. That's just the way code is written on scripts. So, lump it. If I have to click on the OK to go, and I can't just randomly click anywhere off screen, you can do your deleting of mods after you've sliced something you don't like. Okay, so you don't like the mod you're rolling, then you get to bin it. So you've got to waste the additional time doing it through that method, just as I can't click off everywhere and I have to click the green button. Anyway, okay, so we're yammering on here a bit, aren't we? Let's get to some. Let's get to some news. Let's get to talking about some stuff that we're probably gonna. It's probably going to bleed over into the next segment as well. So, unless you want to talk about the other QOLs before we get into the big news this week.
Well, I mean that's honestly the best thing to do. That's what they call in this business a tease.
Mm-hmm.
We can leave them hanging for this. Plus, we're going to be talking about it with Thaddeus from Going Nerdy coming up in our incoming transmission as well.
Yeah. But I will say there are a lot of adjectives floating around on content creators at the moment. There is a lot floating around. Not all good, not all positive. In fact, I've been struggling to see content from a content creator that is not critical of stuff that's happened in the past few days.
Well, the thing is that for some content creators, and I'm not going to point fingers, I'm not going to name names, but for some content creators, this has really upset them to the point where they're lashing out at their community.
Really, I haven't seen any of that. Who's been?
I'm not naming names. I'm not, but they're showing their cracks. Mm-hmm. Now, at the same time, when they're showing their cracks, I also applaud them for showing that they're human.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate that. But I've seen some of them pushing the wrong people away.
Oh, right, okay. I haven't seen any of that, so I can't form an opinion of it, if you catch my drift.
So,
it'd be wrong of me to form an opinion on something like that when I haven't seen it firsthand.
Yeah, I that's all I'm saying is that if you are a content creator and you're listening to this and you feel that you've done that, invite those people in that you pushed away, because we care.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to leave it at that. It's my open letter to the mystery content creator or creators that I speak of.
Yeah. See, the adjectives that I would use are not like some people. I mean, the two words that I've heard thrown around a lot this week are the words trash and the words garbage. I choose.
They're calling the event calendar trash and garbage?
No, no, the event calendar looks pretty damn good if you ask me. I'm loving the look of the event calendar. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count them, 7 fleet masteries.
We have 7 fleet masteries, 1 finalizer, 1 Radis, 2 Radis, 2 finalized. So we're getting 2 of each.
Mm-hmm.
In this coming up. Let's really quick. IG88 is your character.
Mm-hmm.
There are some content creators that are saying that, oh, it's Mando content.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that, but
yeah.
I would think that they'd do IG86 for that more than IG88. My thoughts on that.
Mm-hmm. Oh. What was that?
Thank you, Deadpool Kyle. Appreciate the $5. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, buddy. Right, so yes, I think that it's possible that it could be IG88. It could be that we're getting pirates or more bounty hunters.
Pirates or bounty hunters would be fun.
It would be nice. To get some, it would be nice if we were to get 5 marquee characters, because 5 marquee characters would be kind of a hint towards you need these 5 marquee characters for a legendary. Because I you know what, I miss legendary. I wish we could just have a good old fashioned legendary, you know. A good old-fashioned legendary would be so nice right about now. It really, really would. So,
having
five-
lower end. Okay, so let's think about this. You know, and essentially, I'm kind of tipping my hand a little bit of what I'm going to be saying when it comes to the second segment. But finally having something for everybody to play would be nice.
Yeah, it would, because a legendary is something that everybody can participate in, because they'll release the marquee 5 marquee characters. Whales are going to whale, and the free to play will sit there and we'll wait the couple of months. The 2 months for those marquee characters to be farmable, and then we'll farm them like mad because, we know that they're going to be needed for a legendary. And, 5 marquee characters and a legendary from the Mandalorian would be, it'd be nice right about now. Because there's been it is difficult for free to play to come up with things to do that are end game at the moment. I mean, there's a lot less for end game people to play, but specifically purists, free to play purists, okay, it's much tougher.
So Neil, you've got this event calendar pulled up in front of you, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Where I see I see whatever is gonna happen in April. I see exactly when it's going to happen. Do you see it? Looking at that chart.
No.
All right.
I mean, there's nothing on the 12th of April.
But there is something on the 13th, so that's a credit heist.
Mm-hmm. There's no credit heist on here.
You don't see it, but that's usually what happens.
Yeah, we're lucky if we get 1 credit heist a month these days.
All right. So here's my thoughts. 420, which I love, is the Forest Moon. 420 is on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
They release the info on 421. On 422, the event goes live, and on 423 is the next event. There is nothing going on during that month. The territory war is scheduled for April 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
If anything is going to drop, the gap in the calendar says April 21st or 22nd.
Yeah, we've got Grand Arena, mate.
We might have Grand Arena.
We've got Grand Arena preview phase on the 21st, so people are going to be previewing 21st and then obviously fighting on the 22nd and the 23rd.
So if they release something at noon on the 22nd, then you've got the huge Krakens who are going to buy it,
mm-hmm.
and then they'll face each other in all of this.
Yeah. Some really, really, some nice marquees, some Mando marquees, 5 Mando marquees with a nice legendary, and whoever we don't get as a marquee, maybe Crumb can do a puzzle and have us figure out who the legendary character is. We need some fun. I mean, we really, come on, Crumb, come on, CG. We need something fun right about now, and a legendary is fun.
We have not had a Q&A this month.
Yeah.
So, next week, if they keep the monthly Q&As, let me just verify here. I'm looking at title rollout. They've already deleted the last Q&A, or it's fallen off the front page. But I think there was a Q&A at the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still owed another Q&A.
Yeah, we are. But I mean, it's not something that everybody's screaming for, because QAs, the last 3-4 QAs have been they haven't bared much fruit.
This last one had enough for me to say, okay, cool. I was content with the last Q&A because remember they said that they heard us. They finally said, quote unquote, we hear you. So I was content with that, with most of the answers in this Q&A. Now that they are past all this, Palo Ren and Payray, or Raywall, as some are calling her, maybe we're going to end up getting new information about new raids. We're going to get new information about new content.
Yeah.
And by the way, we did get content just a few days ago in this patch, which we're going to go into finally coming up after these messages right here on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways, all for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
This is Hellenix. #shameless self-promotion. And you're listening to the Escape Pod cast, part of the Escape Pod Castaways Network.
The Escape Pod cast.
And welcome back to the show. We're into segment 2. How you doing, Paul?
Got a little heated before we went into that break right there. By the way, update on Scotty. He's doing well. He will be back hopefully soon. So we could get some more around the tube with Scotty McLaren. We do miss you, buddy. We hope you're feeling well. And thank you, everybody, for all your well wishes and support. They have been passed on. Check him out on Heisy's stream, because he is the golden tonsils.
Yes, he has the golden tonsils. Okay. Let's get into it. Galactic Legends.
So
let's get into it.
News broke on StarWars.com, not CG's forums, not our game, but news broke on StarWars.com on Tuesday that we are going to be seeing Galactic Legend Kylo and Galactic Legend Rey, henceforth known as Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and just Rey.
Just Rey. You know, like Prince or Queen or Madonna. Just one name, Rey. And not a very attractive looking Rey either. For all the proclamations and all of the interviews and all the QAs about art, no, I don't think the character looks so hot.
I think it looks fine. I think it looks fine. You know, I'm not going to get into that with you.
Okay, fine. Yeah, no, I just think that, you know, the increasing the number of polygons hasn't had the desired effect on it that maybe that they were wanting. Or maybe it could be the fact that, you know, the majority of us play it on a much, much larger screen. It's not like we play it on a tablet, or, you know, if you were playing it on your phone, you probably wouldn't even notice. But since so many of us play it.
Okay, so on the loading screen, yes. I have been bothered on multiple occasions of the gigantic forehead ray.
Yeah. But, yeah, so
but
anyway.
Her hair is pulled back. If you look at Neil right now, YouTube, his forehead is about as proportional as the in-game version, not the loading screen version, but his forehead with his hair pulled back is just about as wide as hers.
Well, I could wear my hair down and cover up my slap head.
Exactly. But so
a bit of a mess, but I could.
But let's not get into this. What is, you know, the thing about this is that it wasn't released, it wasn't announced to us via in the chat. The developers didn't tell the invested players first.
No, they told a website first.
I'm heading to the website right now, StarWars.com. And I'm going to look up this news article, news and blog, because get this. I want to point this out. Rey and Kylo Ren head to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I'm going to read the article here for a moment. Learn more about the upcoming Galactic Legends events with more powerful units than before in the mobile game. Okay, cool. You know, imagine reading this as somebody who's never played this game in their life, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and Rey from Rise of Skywalker are headed to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes to duel on your mobile holotables. In a special Galactic Legends event starting tomorrow, new worlds are detailed, and detailed character models will come to life from the latest film. Players will experience moments from the Rise of Skywalker as seen through the eyes of Kylo and Rey, in the only way Galaxy of Heroes can do. Okay, cool. I'm you know, they're basically fluffing it up here.
Oh wow! So there's a video game. So I've never played this game before. So what's this game like? Because I really like those two characters, and I would love to play with those two characters.
Guess what,
How
Neil?
do I do that?
Further in this, the event also promises to dig deeper into the nature of the Force dyad that exists between Kylo and Rey, which shows itself in dynamic, surprising ways during combat.
That is so cool. I really, really, really want to do this event because I've never played this game before. How do I participate, Paul?
Well, you download the game, and then you spend $1,200.
And $1,200 gets me all of the characters that I need. $1,200 gets me Kylo Ren, and it gets me this new this Rey character. That's what I have to pay $1,200 for those two characters. That's ridiculous.
You still need to play the game for approximately 3 months in order to level up and gain the stuff that you need in order to do this sort of thing.
Oh, I don't want to have to do that. I just want it right now. How do I get it? You're telling me about this awesome game with these awesome characters from a trilogy that I absolutely love, and two characters that are just so awesome that I want to play with them all the time. How do I get those? How do I log into the game? How do I get those characters now? I want them now. I don't want to have to wait 3 months. You're telling me about these characters.
Neil, I'm sorry. I didn't understand that you wanted both. Because
I want them both.
That $1,200 is just for one of them.
So, but I don't want just one of them. I'm a Reylo fan. I want them both. How do I get them both straight away?
I mean, you can't. You have to play the game for a while.
Oh, right. Okay. So then why is this article on this website telling me that I can go and play this now?
Because it's just trying to suck you in and make you
Oh,
buy.
right, okay.
Make you buy that one thing, and I'm gonna let you say it, Neil.
What? What am I going to say?
You need to buy this certain bundle that's named after a piece of a ship.
Oh, right, okay. So there is a way that I can boost straight to getting these. Brilliant. Okay, so how much is that?
Well, that's $100 right there.
Wow. So I load the game, which is free, of course. I mean, the game is free, right? So I get this Star Wars game, and I pay $100, and that $100 boosts me to be able to then do the event, so I can get the Kylo and I can get the Rey, right?
Right.
So when does this 1200 kick in? So I've loaded the game, I've bought the hyperdrive bundle, I'm already $100 in, so I may as well go in for the 2,400. What do I need to spend that $2,400 on in order to get these two awesome characters that I love so much from a movie that I've watched a million times?
The hyperdrive bundle, you need to then buy the packs, which have gear inside of them, which they'll guarantee that you get that gear, by the way, because you're spending a certain amount of actual money.
Oh wow! Okay, so how much if I'm spending $100 on that? What do I have to spend in order to get the Rey and the Kylo? I mean, what do I need to get I want the Rey and the Kylo, so just tell me what I have to do to get the Rey and the Kylo.
It's about you're spending about, as I said, about $1,100 in packs.
Of what? What am I spending this? I'm new to the game, Paul. I just want Rey and Kylo. Tell me what I have to spend and what I have to buy and what I have to spend that money on in order for me to get those two characters. I'm completely new to the game, mate.
What you need to do is you need to buy digital Barbie dolls.
No, that doesn't make any sense. I don't want digital Barbie dolls. I want Reylo.
But you have to get other characters in order to get to get Reylo.
Oh, right, okay. That's not a problem. So, well, how many characters do I have to buy to get Reylo?
Well, 12 and 2 ships. 24 and 2 ships.
24 and 2. Oh, right, okay. That's. Hang on a minute there. They didn't mention any of that in the article.
No, they didn't.
They didn't say any of that in the article, that I would have to buy 24 characters just to get my beloved Reylo. I mean, that's ridiculous.
So I do have to throw a shout out to Deadpool Kyle, who cracked me during this little bit by saying to open up a credit card account with Wales Fargo.
Well, that's what I'm gonna need. You know, because this article on StarWars.com has completely and utterly BS'd me. You know, if I was a Reylo fan, and I know that there are Reylo fans out there that probably don't play this game, but now want to play this game because they think that they can get Reylo, they're going to be so disappointed. It's just, you know, they're going to feel this horrible sense of disappointment. You know, that word's been bandied around quite a lot this week. Disappointing, along with trash and garbage. I mean, I wouldn't personally choose those words, even though I'm not participating in this event and probably won't ever participate in this event. Never going to happen. Not even on my main account. But I would refer to it. I would use less visceral language than trash and garbage. I would go with underwhelming and anticlimactic, because that's the feeling that I've been getting from everybody that's done this event. Is it's a bit anticlimactic because you don't get the characters straight away, and a bit underwhelming in the sense that, you know, they've been bigging this up for 4 months and the event itself seems to be pretty basic. Which does beg the question: what exactly have you been doing for the last 4 months, other than, you know, coming up with a new framework so that you can present us with, you know, new games? So yeah, underwhelming, and anticlimactic. Those would be the words that I would use. What words would you use, Paul?
I would use unbalanced. Even though, you know, even though even though they have stated that they've balanced these, I really haven't seen a whole Kylo Ren in action yet. But we're going to get to some specifics about these characters when we talk to Thaddeus from Going Nerdy.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's not just the specifics though. It's just in general though.
So, has anybody gotten to the point where they can level up that ultimate ability yet? I want to know if I'm right. I want to know if you have to pay Zetas before you fully unlock that ultimate ability, or if it's a one-shot, kind of like the contracts were. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see. We are just going to have to wait and see. I mean, it's not just the underwhelming. I mean, I've seen videos of Rey and I've seen videos of Kylo Ren, and Rey is just the anecdotal evidence is that Rey is a better character than Kylo Ren, which is kind of a kick in the teeth, because prior to the event going live, the anecdotal evidence that I was getting from the forums and from just general conversations with people was that what people were going to, erring towards the First Order as opposed to erring towards the Resistance. But there's just been, ever since the event's been released, there have just been some slaps in the face. Slap number one was needing the crystal, having to farm for gear that you don't need in order to get the tickets in order to do the event. So that was slap number one. That annoyed the crap out of people, because a lot of people could only do stages 1, 2, and 3. Tiers 1, 2, and 3. The other slap in the face was the characters that had to be relicked in order to meet the prerequisites for the event, and then those characters aren't in the event. You don't actually need to use them. You're using other characters. So that's a slap in the face, because it's like, well, you would have thought, oh, right, okay, I have to farm and gear and level this character up because you're going to want me to use this character in the event, and they're not being used. So slap in the face number two. Yeah.
I heard that a fast and potent Rose Tico, which was a required character, paired with a R2-D2 and C-3PO, who those two were not required characters, along with whatever required for the event. Those were the big kick in the pants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it just makes me think, all it does is cement with me that I'm definitely not going to do this event ever. That's all it does, is, all of these little bits and pieces, all of these additional slaps, the way that the event was, the underwhelming nature of the event itself, the whole talk of it being ripped off from a Harry Potter game.
Yes. So the paper, rock, scissors element is from Hogwarts. I play the game. Wizards Unite.
Wizards Unite.
So, it's a fun little. No, it's not Wizards Unite. Hogwarts Mystery.
Okay.
Hogwarts Mystery.
Yeah,
Wizards
but
Unite
for all
also
intents and
has
purposes,
sort of
the format of the game is the same as the Harry Potter one. It's just a different skin. It's a Star Wars skin over a Harry Potter skin.
But guess what? It's content.
Yeah, it is. It is. This is what they class as content. I mean, it's content that 95% of the community isn't engaging with, other than living vicariously through content creators and watching them do it. Because we're watching content creators do it, and content creators collect the characters and do the event. So we're having to live vicariously through them, but it's a bit difficult to live vicariously through the content creator doing it when the content creator doing the event is like, what the hell, I mean, Cubs. I was watching Cubs live right? And the hype. I mean, he went from 0 to 1,700 people watching the stream inside of 5-10 minutes because everybody was like, "Yeah, let's see it unlocked." And then it was like a damp squid. It was unbelievable. It's like, well, I guess we won't be doing it then. We don't have the tickets, and people, didn't want to blow the crystals on the refreshes to try and get more of these tickets because you needed 15, then 30, then 60. Just, yeah. So Cubs ended up ending his stream. I mean, it was like a rage quit without the rage. But yeah, I don't blame him, and that's what it's been like. And the words. That's where the words trash and garbage have been coming out from, because you're gonna be a little bit annoyed if you've spent time, money, in-game resources preparing yourself for the launch of this event to then be held back by an additional wall of requirements to actually do the tiers, which is just, yeah. I mean, we can look back at the other events where you get a 5-star unlock and then you need GET2 currency in order to take them to 7. We can look back on that and laugh now because it's like, at least you got the character.
So
it was at 5 stars, but at least you got the character, and you could get the character the day that the event went live. This event, you can't do that. An event goes live, you expect to be able to get said character, and nobody was able to do it.
Okay, so let me also point out the biggest problem here.
Go ahead.
The whole entire thing is for the 1%.
Yeah, it is. The entire event is for 1%.
And guess what? I talk about how we're the communities podcast, how I'm always trying to support us as a community. The problem here is that the 99% are still sitting there watching the content creators unlock these sorts of things, and then still sitting there, not you, Neil, but a majority of people are going, I can't wait till I get that.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a point where you say no, people. The 99%, the Occupy Wall Street movement actually did a little bit of stuff back in the day. So maybe we need to occupy the Hollow Table Hall. Hashtag Occupy Hollow Tables.
Yeah, but it's not nothing. That's not going to do anything. That's not going to produce anything, because 99% of us aren't doing this event, and 99% of us don't really care about this event. I mean, it's a handful of people that care about this event and care about getting these characters, and they're underwhelmed, and they're annoyed, and they're frustrated, and that's it. I mean, nothing else is going to happen. I mean, really, nothing's gonna happen. The thing, it just doesn't. I mean, perfect example would be to look at the different game, Marvel Strike Force. They had a spending boycott, and the month that they had the spending boycott, Marvel Strike Force posted their biggest profit of month of the game ever. And that was with a boycott of whales and krakens. The whales and the krakens at the top boycotted for a month. Well, they said that they boycotted for a month, and it still made a boatload of money. So I don't see how any type of protest or action or words against CG/EA is going to make a halfpenny bit of difference, other than, hey guys, bravo, you made an event and you spent 4 months, and you're not going to make a lot of money off it because 99% of the community ain't ever going to go for it.
They're not going to make a dime off me. I'm still going to push for Kylo, because I do like Kylo.
Mm-hmm.
I like that character. Some of the best acting in Star Wars happened with Adam Driver.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not making a dime off me when it comes to gear, when it comes to any of that, because I am still on my hold when it comes to non-ships. I'm farming Sith Trooper. By the way, this is the point where I can make really quick. I think that the drop rate dropped in this last title update as well. Before I was getting 20%. Now I'm getting about 15%, down to possibly 12% on what I've been farming. I'm glad that I got Hux to 7-star before this title update came out. But I honestly think that the drop rates dropped. At least that's what I'm personally seeing. When you farm a cantina that has Sith Trooper and Tusken Raider on it, and you get 1 Tusken Raider shard, there's something wrong.
Yeah, I might have to go for that. I do like farming nodes, where there's 2 things on it. I do like farming nodes with 2 things on it, I must admit. I might have to have a look at that one. But yeah, so just a lot of nothing. It's a big nothing burger really this week. Great big fat juicy nothing burger.
Well, we're going to talk to somebody that has the opportunity to play with these things.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are.
Because they were an original content creator. Our very, very close, personal, good friend, Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, will be joining us right after this break, right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Eyre.
Hey there, Escape Podawans. Everyone's favorite llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod Cast is on social media. That's right, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So give us a like, give us a follow, and stay up to date on all things in-game and in the Escape Pod. Our account links are down in the description or on our Discord server in the Show Links channel. See you on the net!
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today, because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
Back to school. The Escape Pod Cast for Kids. It's really cool.
Hello and welcome back, Escape Podawans, to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod Cast for Kids. We are starting fresh this week with a brand new segment I like to call Faction Facts. I really like alliterations. Now, every week I'll be breaking down a different character faction and going through the characters, where you can farm them, as well as some useful places around the game to use them. This week I will be starting off with Paul's first love, the Phoenix Squadron. Now, this faction is made up of 6 characters, all of whom are farmable. Leader Hera Syndulla is on Cantina Node 1F, Kanan Jarrus is in the Squad Arena store, Ezra Bridger is on Cantina Node 2B, Garazeb Aurelios is in the Galactic War Store, Sabine Wren is on Darkside Hard Node 1A, and last but not least, Chopper is available in the Cantina store. A huge benefit to this team is their incredible synergy with each other. Hera's leadership ability allows this squad to share their unique abilities with each other. So, for example, Zeb's unique ability is called Shrug Off. He earns bonus max protection equal to plus 40% of his max health. Plus, at the start of each turn, he recovers 15% protection, which is double to 30% if he has a debuff. Now, if you use Hera in the leader spot, each of the remaining 4 Phoenix Squadron will get this ability as well. This is true for each member's unique, so Ezra's offense stacking, Chopper's health recovery, Sabine's critical chance and critical damage boost, and Kanan's counterattack chance will be available for your whole squad to take advantage of. This synergy is a huge advantage in early game content. This is a great squad to get your arena off to an awesome start if you aren't planning on buying the Hyperdrive bundle, that is. Plus, they make Galactic War so much easier because of the shield and health regeneration. Since all of your stats carry over from battle to battle, having the tunes being able to regenerate their health and protection puts you in a much better spot as you move into the harder levels. The high counter attack chance makes them a great option in early game territory war and GAC. In a lot of the beginner guilds, you'll see Phoenix Squadron walls because a lot of the early game players have that squad completed, plus they're really good on defense. Another huge benefit to starting out with this team is you get to double dip with them. Now, what do I mean by that? It means that you can complete 2 legendary events in the journey guide with one squad. 2 legendary characters for the effort of farming one team. Phoenix is a hard requirement to get Grand Admiral Thrawn. You really can't use any other team. But because the Phoenix squad also has the Rebel tag, you can use them to complete Emperor Palpatine's legendary event as well. Both are key characters not only in a great Empire squad, but Thrawn is an excellent plug-and-play character you can use in a ton of different squad comps. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more story time with the Llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127 or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast now offers our faithful listeners a way to show their support via merchandise. Declare your allegiance to Team Paul or Team Neil with official shirts. Get a story time with the llama button or magnet. Or just represent the show by getting an official logo hoodie. There are now even Team Scotty and Team Heinzie options available too. Become an official Padawan today. Check out the merch at escapepodcastaways.com.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
Hello and welcome back everybody to this week's incoming transmission. Now, you recognise who's below me, but it wouldn't be an incoming transmission if our guest did not get introduced by the Master of Ceremonies, Paul Anthony. Paul, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from the mountains of Utah, he is a teacher by day, but a content creator by night. He is wearing a tinfoil hat only to speculate on how smart we really are. Ladies and gentlemen, the Titan, Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. Thad, welcome, bud.
Well, thank you. I love being called a Titan. I wish more people in my house called me that. Strangely enough, and I won't give out a name, I know a person, I have a student whose real name is Titan. Like, legit real name. And I was like, dude, you better not let your parents down. Because with a name like that, they're either setting you up for greatness or failure. I mean, good kid, though. Anyways, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying that. But Titan, love the name. I wish I were called the Titan more often.
Well, okay. So, Thaddeus, you know, when we're talking about everything, and unfortunately our guest that we had to cancel last minute, you said that you'd come on, and I immediately thought of you because you have that coveted test account.
Yes. I have a test. Can I tell you how excited I am for this test account? Like when this mode launched, like the first thing I did is I went to my resistance team and I double checked to make sure that Old Man Chewie and Old Man Han were available as resistance, and I was like, heck yeah! And I was so excited, like, because finally I've waited for so freaking long to test those guys, and can I tell you that a resistance team, any resistance team with Chewie and Han, dominate the heroic Rancor raid. Just dominate it.
Oh, the Rancor raid.
Heroic Rancor. Heroic.
Okay, I'm sorry. So the heroic Rancor raid.
Yes. Heroic Rancor. They do struggle in phase 1 of everything else. But
So I just have to be clear, though, that they are game breaking for the Rancor raid, and they need to probably be looked at.
they do need a nerf because they're game breaking for the Rancor. It is a little sad. They're a little too powerful when it comes to the Rancor. But clearly they're not good anywhere else.
All right. Well, I'm glad that we have to farm them.
Yes.
I really am.
Yes. I will say, as excited as I am about that, and jokingly, clearly, but I do think that they could I really want to play around with them a little bit more, specifically with the Sith Triumvirate raid. And now that we have so many Resistance characters, I do think that mechanic with the current Jedi Ray is still going to be functional, but we might be able to use Old Man Han instead.
Okay.
So I think that there's some potential there. So this whole week wasn't a huge letdown because Harrison Ford exists. And
okay.
Chewbacca.
So you've got this test account. You have unlimited potential in this whole test account.
No, hold on. Let me correct you there. I have limited potential. I have 9.64 million crystals currently. And I still have not been able to unlock Kylo or Rey.
Wait a minute.
Hang on a minute. So you have unlimited resources, and even with a test account, you still haven't unlocked them.
Yeah. So now I will say that's on me, because you're limited by how many times that you can refresh a day, right? You can refresh your energy so many times a day. With the light side, with the canteen, with the regular energy, right? You can refresh up to 3,600 crystals twice, and maybe no. I'm thinking Cantina. You can refresh up to 800 crystals 3 times, right?
I think you could go farther with that, but yeah, there is a limit to that. But Thaddeus, why? I mean, you've had all week.
I know, and I spaced it. I wasn't excited. Like I honestly, like, looking at the event, I was like, all right, I know as a content creator, I know that people are going to be talking about this. No one's going to be playing these characters. Like, it's cool. Like, yeah, they're god characters. And like Arnold's video where he shows, like, what is it? Rey, this new Rey, which
Four Jawas full auto.
Yeah. Okay. First off, I've got to complain a little bit here. I'm not a complainer. I am a complainer, but not on film. I'm a pessimist in person, but in reality or on film, I try to be as optimistic as possible. Why do they call him Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and her not Rey Palpatine?
Because that's how they were at the beginning of the movie. She was just Rey. She really didn't feel that she didn't know she was a Palpatine, and she didn't really feel that she was a Skywalker, So she's Rey. Just Rey.
No. So first off, that's
do you ask Madonna why she's just Madonna? Do you ask Cher why she's just Cher? She's
I
just
would
Ray.
ask those people why they're just those people.
I'm sure you've seen this though. I'm sure you've seen Will and Grace. Just Jack.
Just Jack.
No, I've not seen that. I don't get that.
I haven't, but I think I've seen that thing. I've seen a few episodes of Will and Grace, but it's been
a long time.
A long time. I saw it before it was canceled and then re-brought back because NBC couldn't figure out how to make a good show. So they brought back something else that was like, hey, this was good. So here, shortly after the battle, right, in canon, in the movie, in the book that I'm currently reading right now, shortly after the battle with Kylo over Kylo's grandpappy's helmet, he tells her, he's like, you're Palpatine, just so you know. So like where most content creators are, like in the third battle of the event, right? Which is when you can get the most shards for Rey or Kylo.
Right.
It's, you can freaking, like, she knows who she is. We're halfway through the event, right? I mean, later on, it's going to continue to tell the story, but by the end of the event, she's going to be either Rey Skywalker or Rey Palpatine. And I will be absolutely disappointed, more so than I kind of am now. If like one of the things that you do, once you've defeated that final tier, you unlock the last name. It would be stupid, but at least it's something. Like, at least it's like, hey, I worked towards this. I now have Rey Skywalker. I mean,
Rey Palpatine.
All right, Rey Palpatine.
Rey
Depending
Palpatine.
on where they ended the movie. But
You'll always be Palpatine to me.
Until she gets retconned again in another book or another comic, or a book or a graphic novel.
You want to talk about retcon really quick?
Gosh.
Really quick, because Thaddeus is a reader of the comics as well as I am. Okay, sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't read the comics. I doubt that you're a comic reader then if you haven't read the comics. But spoiler alert, Leia gets frozen in carbonite.
What?
In between Return of the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, that's what this new series is. Now it's canon that Leia's been in carbonite.
Okay, so then she would have had no reason to not be prepared to be shot out into space. Right? If you're frozen in carbonite, the sub-zero temperatures of space would be the same. Why would she have such a difficult time? I mean, granted, advanced age may have played a role in that, but that's just bad story writing. They should have known better. Anyways.
We're getting way off track here. We're wanting to talk about Galactic Legends.
Yes, let's talk about the Galactic Legend that you were supposed to have done but didn't.
I tried.
So you're going after both of them right now,
Do or
right?
do not. There is no try.
No.
I have spoken.
I cannot go after both of them right now because you have to choose. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm completely not getting how this event works. But you have to use your energy to farm these nodes, these nodulars. Right?
You farm a dark side battle to get dark side energy to do the dark side Galactic Legend.
Yes. But you still have to use the same energy source to farm for light side battles, right? I mean, there is no... I've looked. I have. And I haven't seen another way for them to, like, farm both at the same time. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. And that was slap in the face number 3. Not only having to farm the energy, but the energy that you're farming for either the light side or the dark side coming in at a drop rate of 30%.
Oh my gosh!
So not getting every. So if you did 6, you'd expect to get 6, but you weren't.
Yeah, and so that's the other frustrating thing. That I've used many crystals, and I did have some energy saved up before the event began, and I farmed all of the energy that I had. I went through, and I am, hold on, let me bring it up real quick. 30 shards, 20 shards away from unlocking Kylo Ren. I have yet to even see Rey's first 3 tiers, which, I mean, at this point, I'm not going to see until like early next week. Or, I mean, I could watch a video of someone else doing it, but that takes away some of the pomp and circumstance.
Okay, so really quick, Gridden, by the way, your fellow alliance mate there. We always love seeing Gridden here, and he's going to be later on tonight. He will be live with our boy Heinze from the Escape Pod Content Creator Network. He will be on with Heinze in about 2.5 hours from right now. If you're listening to this on podcast or watching it later, go back, watch the stream. You are going to absolutely love it. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I was supposed to speak to you earlier on this. Grid's going to kill me. I was supposed to speak to you earlier on this week about inducting, potentially inducting Gridan into the Castaways network.
Into the Castaway? I mean,
I was actually going to ask that. I was like, is he part of us yet? Because he should.
I would. I'd be interested to talk to him about it. Absolutely, but let's. We'll talk. No business at the bus right now. No business at the bus.
Okay.
Because let's face it, like this event, and I hope this doesn't come off racist, but it could, and if it does, I'm not meaning it that way. This event has put everyone, but as you mentioned, except those very, very top 1% at the back of the bus.
Like, point of the spear, not the tip of the spear. The point of the spear. Not even the tip. You know, the tips are huge.
And it's not even the point.
Like, it's the point of the tip. It's the point at every point of the tip.
Yeah, right? And I was going to make a joke about sensitivity there, but I won't go there. But I'm disappointed. Like, I logged in and like I did like an impromptu live stream, and I think there was one person watching me, so I didn't get the 10 to 15,000 that Cubs fan on did, and I don't expect to, by the way. But
that was Arnold. Arnold got the 5 digits. Cubs got the 4 digits.
But yeah, I was super impressed by that. Like that's cool.
That went
And again, first off, his intro was awesome.
The intro was so cool.
I mean, people who went and watched that live stream shouldn't have been disappointed because of who was doing it. Like, that was awesome.
The intro was the highlight of the entire thing, not the event.
It was.
People were talking about the intro, not the event.
Yeah.
When you make an intro, when a content creator makes an intro that's better than the actual event that they're live streaming, you know that the people making the content have done something seriously wrong.
I know.
Seriously, the content creator's intro is better than our game.
It at this point, hold on. I've got my oven on in the back. I got a fireplace back here.
Paul's doing weird things on camera.
I was messaging out to somebody, giving them a little, Carol Burnett tug of the ear kind of thing.
Oh.
Somebody needed a little visual cue on something, so don't worry about that, Neil.
So, balls. Where was I?
Couldn't have been important if you forgot.
Well, no, because I was going to talk about Capital Games. So
we were talking about how a content creator's intro was more entertaining than the event he was live streaming.
Okay, I have never said that this game is like going downhill. Well, I mean, that it was going to end, right? I've never said that they were just going to shut it down, and I don't necessarily believe that they will. But it's incredibly disconcerting that they've spent the last month and a half not saying hardly anything to the community. You know, I go through daily and just refresh the forums page. I do it at specific times because I know like around the time that they, drop new information. And so like I go through and refresh stuff and they haven't given us anything, right? They like you guys said earlier in that earlier segment, like they weren't even the ones that launched the thing, the event.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I mean, what in the world are you doing wrong as a company that I'm not trying to badmouth the people involved. I think they're great guys and gals.
There's nothing wrong with being constructively critical. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
They are mishandling this game in a drastic way. And it saddens me. You know, like I'm at a point where like there have been days I've logged in every day for the last 4 years since I've been doing this. Like no matter, I've been on a boat in the middle of a freaking lake to log in to get my energy refreshes so that I can be there for like my guild, so that I can be there for my people, and so that I can make content, so I can stay up to date on what's going on. I have lost interest. I mean, there have been days, legit days, that I have just forgot to log in. I mean,
until you get that tag saying, "Hey, I need your 600."
Yeah. And
so I was talking with our good friend Bodhi from the Howling Ewoks.
Yeah, I already love him.
Yeah, I absolutely love Bodhi. He and I were talking along with one of our Patreons, Zaz. We were basically discussing the fact that these whole Galactic Legends being pointed at the 1% and the 99% of us that don't have all these overpowered characters right off the bat, and even from what I understand, the 50% that don't give a crap.
Yeah.
It essentially is that the only thing keeping Bodhi around at times is the community.
Yeah.
And being the community podcast and not the somebody who's not in it to, I'm going to be blunt here for a moment. I do appreciate each and every single one of our Patreons. I also really appreciate each and every single one of our listeners that haven't spent anything. Thank you to those who can and do support this show and this channel and this network. But I do this to entertain. This is my hobby. Thank you to the Patreons and those who donate for allowing me to kind of recoup what's been lost because of the whole COVID stuff, or to be able to show Neil a good birthday by sending him a microphone arm and a video card. Thank you for that. I do this because the community needs a voice. And too often we hear that voice, or they don't hear that voice. And it's the community that hears the voice, and it just echoes and resonates. Yep.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
No, and Paul, you're right that like I remember I was probably one of the quietest content creators when the Game Changer program existed. So like we used to have these like weekly calls. We talk about what's going on. We talk about problems that we were having as content creators, but then we talk about what we were hearing from the game. And we would give our feedback directly to kind of our handler, right? The guy who brought us on and tells us like, hey, this is what's going on. And he was really good about saying, I hear you, I understand, this is what we're trying to do. But because of
Who was this again?
The handler, I don't remember his name, and I don't know if I can actually say his name. But
Okay, I
the guy
I know
that was
who you're
in
talking
charge
about.
of.
Yeah,
Right.
I know who
Yeah.
you're talking about, and and guess what? Where are they now?
Yeah, like that's the thing. When they had a game changer program, they had a place for them to get feedback. Now it was filtered through a game changer. It was filtered through someone who says, "Hey, this is something that I have made a hobby of, that I've dedicated a portion of my life to." Arnold, Cubs, Ramon Abizet, Reality Skewed Gamers, like all of these people like said, look, these are, and I think RSG was part of it too. I don't remember, but like, it's that all of these people are like, look, this is what we're hearing from the community. This is the problem that you're facing. And granted, there's turnaround time between, hey, there's a fix that needs to be done, or hey, there's something that needs to be implemented. But they didn't fix it much of anything, but at least they heard what we were saying. And then later on, they could address it in these chats that they were having once a quarter. Now, these forum posts that they're saying, hey, ask us anything, they're really not getting much answers. Like, they're really not giving much of any answers. And that's because the feedback that they're getting is, I just don't think they're listening. And
no,
like,
it's the listening. It's fear of what we're going to say, because it happened last year. But a threshold was crossed last year where it was all criticism. Literally everything was being criticized. We
fell into it.
It was, everything was critical. Everything was criticism. Legitimate. The language used for some of the criticism may have been colourful. It may have been unproductive. And it may have been more subjective than objective. But objectively, the game has been criticised considerably more. If they were to have a bunch of content, if they were to have one conversation with a dozen content creators, we'd all be trying to say the same critical things all at the same time, all at once to them, and they're scared of that.
Yeah, I think they are. I think
but
they are,
because they don't need us, because they know that we're still going to make content doing the exact same thing, being critical. They know that they don't need to sit down with a half a dozen or a dozen content creators and have that conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make this challenge, and to the if each and every single, this is a long shot, but if each and every single person who listens to this on the podcast networks, or rewatches this, or is watching this live, I'm looking you right in the eyes and I'm going to tell you this right now. The next Q&A that comes up and they allow us to submit our questions, I plead, I beg of you to do this one question. This is all I want you to put in there. You're going to put in your name, and in the question field of the Survey Monkey survey, you will ask these words. What about the rest of us? Leave it at that.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I would like to do a 12 person Zoom conference with every single individual person being content creators, and then as all fire off an email, because we've all got our email contacts, we all fire off an email to CG and we say, there are right now, as we speak, 12 content creators. Everybody is simultaneously live streaming on their channels, and we can all see each other and we can all hear each other. Go into one of those live streams and answer our bloody questions.
Yeah.
And just sit there. And it's like, are you going that there are 12 content creators? We've got reaches of hundreds of thousands of people within the community. Come on the live stream. Come on. See, and then we'll just sit there and wait. And if they don't turn up, then we can all say, clearly, you do not have the time for the community. Because if you've got a dozen content creators all in the same call, all simultaneously streaming on their channels in the same call, and CG ignores that, they're ignoring the entire community.
Yeah. Ryan Armstrong says that would never happen. He's like, that's job suicide, and I think that that's true. I've got to say, look, there have been good times and bad times here. I absolutely love and admire CG Carey. I remember she was the first person and maybe the only person that I interviewed from EA or from Capital Games. And as I finished my interview with her, we recorded everything. I'm like, all right, we're done. She's like, your questions were all softball questions. You didn't ask anything difficult. And I just said, look, I like for my team, for my channel, you know, that's not what I'm about. I asked you the questions that I thought were relevant to me. You know, the stuff that people have asked me to ask you. And yeah, I have a very unique and specific type of channel. But she's like, you need to ask me harder questions next time. And I was like, all right, deal. We would not get that at all from it. Like, we don't see those questions being answered in the Q&As, right? We don't get any hardball questions. I gotta say, I do love the artwork. Mad props to the art department. But when I'm looking at a Q&A, that's the last thing that I really want to hear about, right? The mechanics section, like when they go over a mechanic, is this working properly? How do you explain this? Like, they don't give answers, right? And they don't answer many questions when they do, right? These Q&As aren't very effective. They're just a show. And it's unfortunate. It is very unfortunate because it is a great way. And now, Neil, I would only slightly disagree with you. I don't think that a 12-person font format would work, but I think you go to the biggest one. You go to Mobile Gamer, right? You go to the person who has the biggest following. You go to the person who has the most passionate following, which I would probably say that is Gus Van Hahn. You go to one person who has a large following that's going to get the word out, and you do a live stream.
Well, I would say Jedi Academy. Get Mobile, Arnold, Cubs, Warrior, Urza. You get everybody. All the big ones, everybody with 4 digits.
Yeah.
Everybody with 4 digits. That's got
that includes Heinze. That includes Gridden.
Heinze, Gridan. It's just
has
Ian.
Gridden passed me yet? I'm pretty sure he's going to pass me soon.
But you get all those guys on.
Some guy named Thaddeus. Yeah. I forget what his channel is.
He just wears a silver hat for whatever reason.
You get those numbers involved. Why. You get those numbers involved, and
Bulldog.
I mean, there's not gonna be a Q&A. We're not gonna get a Q&A. Obviously, we're not gonna get a Q&A because everybody's in lockdown. Everybody at CG is working from home. They already told us that everybody's working from home, but it doesn't take much, and it wouldn't take much for. I'm sorry, the guy that we think exists, but we're not sure. What's his name again?
Mike Donaldson.
It's something. Donald,
the guy that took over. Okay,
Coxon, Dixon.
No, Dickinson.
Sorry,
Dickinson.
See, I can't even remember the dude's name because he communicates it. So Dickinson. So Mark Dickinson, right?
Are we gonna continue?
Gives permission to somebody because you want to know that the best person for a group like that to speak to, it's Crumb. We will give Crumb a little bit of slack because he's been there a while and he has people's feelings, and stuff like that. So I think from an emotional point of view, it's not that we would go light on him. We would, a group that big would probably still go quite heavy on him, but not as heavy on him as they would on someone like Mark Dickinson, because everybody would be like, why don't you communicate? Why don't you speak? Why don't you do this?
Neil, I'm going to stop you there. We had Crumb on. When it was Scotty and I, we had Crumb on, remember?
Yeah.
And it's Crumb who is my contact. And Crumb, I haven't heard from you. And, I asked a simple question. All we want is just it's no longer that I'm not going to beg for you guys to come on. You know, I asked and I've been blown off. I'm not going to beg. If you want editorial control, give us the hardball questions that we want.
Yeah.
And we'll work with you. That's all.
We'll give you 50% of all the fluffy questions you want, but you got to be prepared to take. You got to be prepared to be hit with some hardball questions, and that's why I'm saying, Jedi Academy we could do. I mean, I would love to have him on hours. I'd love to have him on hours.
Yeah,
obviously.
And Neil, they're not gotcha questions. They're just questions that continue to go unanswered every single time.
Yeah.
We're not going to be like, we're not going to throw out something and be like, why you make this like this? No, it's please explain. It's please explain your mindset when doing this.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. And I agree. I just don't think that, like, that's what makes me so nervous. It's that lack of communication that when we once saw a thriving game with an amazing capacity to like connect and build with each other, when there was excitement, when there was passion, like in everyone. I know so many people, like it didn't affect me for the longest time. It's like the coronavirus. It hasn't affected me yet. I don't know anyone who's got it yet.
Well, you might have it. You might just be asymptomatic.
That's also true.
Thaddeus, do you know anybody that has the coronavirus?
I don't know.
Okay, cool, because you know me, so I don't have it.
Okay, good. Okay. Based on that logic, you guys are safe. Now, I'm not a doctor, but logic dictates that you're okay. But here's the thing, like, it hasn't affected me. And just like for the longest time, I still had so many friends that were playing, and like we'd text and we'd go on Discord and we'd chat, and it was fun. It was fun to talk about this. Like when you got a new character, like, hey, I pulled 30 shards or 10 shards of someone. Like, this is awesome. Or did you see the way that, whatever. The fact, like I look at this, I'm looking at the forum now, event calendar April, and I feel like I'm gonna have to make a video of this because IG88 is the login character for April.
We already discussed it. Mando.
Oh man!
Whatever comes of it, it's going to be on the 21st or 22nd. Whatever comes this month for the content will be on the 21st or 22nd.
Yeah. Okay. I see that because there's nothing there.
There's a 3-day gap.
GAC.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, so like
nobody cares about GAC, Neil.
Screw you. I'm on triple Kyber.
Dude, I honestly spaced it. Like I started the event the other night and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And so like I went through my first 2 rounds, like, all right, I did okay. I didn't do great. But I put my phone down and forgot. Mm-hmm. And just absolutely spaced it. And when I picked it back up like the next day at 5 and the event was over, I was like, oh crap. Well, good job, man, whoever I was going against. Easy win for you. Now, it probably was an easy win anyways, but because he was going against me, and that's not my focus. But, like, I just sit back and 2 years ago, 6 months ago, that would have bugged me. I'm like, man, I can't believe I did that. Now I'm just like, man, I'm going to play Scrabble on my phone. I was up till 2 playing Scrabble on my phone the other night. And again, I forgot to get my stuff. And like, the passion is gone. And with, to be honest, outside of like my own community, and you guys, there's not a lot of people that I've connected with. It's sad. It's so sad. And I don't want this game to die. One, because I've invested 4 years of my life into it.
Right.
but I love this. I love this game. And it is cool to see different characters playing through different things. And yes, this is content. I get that. But rock, paper, scissors? I mean, I just, it was cool in the moment, but now that I'm looking back, I'm like, am I going to have to do that every time?
Yes, you are.
That's dumb. And I expect more. I do. I hold this company to a higher standard. And that's sad. I don't hold anything to high standards. Like everything that I've used all my cameras, my mic, almost everything is like secondhand. My chair that I'm sitting in was destroyed at one point. Like I don't hold much to high standards, but like I hold them to a high standard, and they should be better. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, the fact remains there's still more to come on Thaddeus's channel with Galactic Legend Unlocks. That's the good news out of all of this.
There is.
That is the good news out of all of this.
And we promise
Kylo Ren versus Kylo Ren. I'm sorry. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren versus the heroic Rancor. 1-on-1. Can it be done?
I definitely look forward to seeing that. Now, speaking of community and things that we all do. So on our channel here on the Escape Podcast channel, we have Talking Picard. This week is the season finale, from what I understand.
Seriously, yes.
This is the season finale of Picard, so we're going to be doing that on Sunday night. And then following that, why don't you tell them about what we do on your channel?
Yes. So this week, all weeks, actually, we are going to... Wait, hold on. Have you guys seen it, the episode?
I did see it before the show today, but I don't know if Neil's watched it yet. No.
We are going to continue Star Wars The Clone Wars, Talking Clones. This week, we are going to watch Deal No Deal, which is the name of this episode.
I thought we were going to watch Game Show Network and watch Howie Mandel.
I spoiler alert, Nev, that's what happens. They brought Howie Mandel onto the thing. It's cool. Like, it's a really cool thing because I wouldn't expect Howie Mandel to transition.
The main character has to choose one of 25 briefcases.
Yeah. And they didn't even do it weird. I mean, they didn't spend any, they didn't give Howie Mandel a new name or a new character. It's Howie Mandel.
No. It was a Jedi named Howie Mandel.
Well, yes. Well, I mean, same concept. And then all of the briefcases are held by different Twi'leks in the background.
Oh, yeah. I'm liking the sound of that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Me likey.
Yeah. So yeah. So
they don't happen to be the Twi'leks from Urza's Hall by any chance, do they? Because I've heard that those girls really like to party.
Yeah, all right. So anyway, we have Talking Clones on Thaddeus's channel, and it's a lot of fun. And you guys want more comedy like this? We love to just go down the wormhole or rabbit hole. Rabbit hole, that's what it is. We go down the rabbit hole of comedy every single week. Thaddeus, we do have to get to our Patreon's choice. We are 10 minutes over. We have to get to our fourth segment, which is Patreon's choice, which Run DMV and Biscuit Weasel personally chose for the two of us, Neil.
Awesome.
And let's see if this is going to actually be fun right here on the Escape Pod. Thank you for being on, Thaddeus. Remember to smile.
Stay nerdy.
Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod Cast.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much, much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up.
And now time for something completely shameless.
This data makes no sense.
Lennox.
How is this even possible?
Lennox.
Oh, what the? This cannot be correct.
Introspective query. Where can the
wretched organic meat bag
be?
I'm in my captain's quarters, noob. Right where you last saw me.
I have returned. Lennox.
Were you able to acquire the supplies I sent you out for?
Yes, for the most part. But I've encountered a minor
difficult problem.
Lennox. However,
seriously? All I wanted was some chips and a case of beer, noob. You couldn't even get that done? All right, let's see what you got.
Oh no, this is going to be
embarrassing.
Let's see here. Ooh, a bag of Mala Liza's honey mustard and space onion pretzel pieces. Nice, I'll take those. A can of 5W30 full synthetic motor oil. Hey, I didn't ask for motor oil. What's this? A magazine? Let's see, the latest issue of what now? Popular Robotics. This issue, a full schematic of that droid from Metropolis is this month's centerfold. Wait, oh my. Noob, I don't even want to know what you plan on doing with those last two items.
I can logically explain both of those items.
Lennox.
No need, noob. You're a young but growing droid, and it's, perfectly natural, I guess, for you to experiment. You know, this must be why everyone keeps going on and on about periodic memory wipes on their droids. I wonder if Anakin or Luke ever had this issue with R2. Anyway, I'm getting off track again. All right, so, for me, no beer, but yes on some snacks. And for you, a couple of personal items.
Please don't
deactivate
me, Lennox.
I'm not gonna deactivate you for failing to bring me beer, noob. I'm not that vindictive. Instead, I am resourceful. I'll just use this new Space Grub app that I installed on my trusty old Note 8, and we'll have some brews delivered right here to our ship while we're still docked in Coronet Starport. In the meantime, you can go to your quarters and do whatever it was you were planning on doing with that motor oil and that magazine.
I wasn't planning on doing anything.
Embarrassing.
Droid. Relax. I don't judge. You do you, bruh. As for me, I have to finish analyzing your self-diagnostic report so I could get back to listening to The Escape Pod Cast with our hosts, Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware. Take it away, boys. I got reports to analyze and Newbie has to, do something private.
Embarrassing, unfair, and uncalled for. What a jerk. Hellenix is a hack. He can't even swagga. Who the space hell does Hellenix think he is? That's why nobody likes him. He's a power-hungry dictator who attacks people for no reason. He thinks he's so cool. What, with all his swagga celebrity friends? He'll see. This won't end well for the salty Spartan. His time is coming soon. Trademark.
Why do I keep feeling like that droid is going to be the end of me?
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. We're on the bridge for our final segment. Paul, it's been a pretty good show so far. How do you think it's gone?
As you like to say, it was cracking.
Yeah, it was cracking. Absolutely cracking. Banging show.
Both of us have had our little rants. Thaddeus got a little rant in.
Mm-hmm.
But the moral of the story,
I got another bear.
When it all comes down to it, for me, it's the fact that all we want to do is be heard and be talked to a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To instead of sprinkling breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
You know, you had 3 to 4 months, CG, to put out little breadcrumbs that weren't tied to these galactic legends. To us, to the consumer, to the person that's spending money outside of the very, very tip of the spear. To everyone else, all that you've done is say, this expensive character's coming, this expensive character's coming for 4 months. You give us the Radis, you give us the Finalizer, you give us Sith Trooper, you give us Resistance Hero Poe. There has been nothing. There has been nothing for mid-game players, maybe except for the Radis and the Finalizer, but they also required 7-star ships that not everybody had. Give us something for everybody, please.
Yeah. Please give us something for everybody. Okay, so this segment, it's not dealer's choice, it's Patreon choice. And so we threw up the suggestions in Patreon chat. We asked what Patreon chat would like Paul and I to discuss or chat. It can be anything, and people have been keeping it Star Wars related, so
but they don't have to.
They don't have to.
They technically don't have to.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't technically have to be about Star Wars or about the game. It can literally be about anything, but you need to be a Patreon to put the suggestions for us to see them. So
at least nerd culture.
Yes, nerd culture would be nice, because then it's something we know about, because it's a last minute thing. We want it to be, off the cuff, winging it at the last minute, not something that you suggest at the beginning of the week that we have to go away and research, because I prefer to argue things from a moral and ethical point of view, because then you don't need facts.
And I love to talk from the heart.
I prefer sticking from an ethical and moral perspective, because then you're talking about morals and ethics, and you do not need physical data. But anyway, okay, we're digressing here.
and in other words, so that means that I say screw ethics and I'm immoral? Is that what you're trying to say, Neil?
No. If you screw ethics, then you're unethical, not immoral.
But you said also a moral point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So if I disagreed with you on a topic, then I would be unethical and immoral.
Not necessarily. It would depend on what your point of view or your perspective was. All
right.
Having argued with many politicians many moons ago, I know what it's like. And politicians get very, very uncomfortable when you argue the morals and ethics and not the facts and the data of a policy. So it's very interesting. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So Run DMV and Biscuit Weasel. So Run sent me my questions, and I believe Biscuit sent you your questions.
No. Run DMV sent me my questions.
Okay. So we've each been given questions to ask each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do we want to do?
Just do them all. We'll do. I'll either do all of mine to you, or you do all of yours to me, and then.
Okay. So you to me, because I have a feeling that you're going to go 5 out of 5.
Okay. All right then.
I have a feeling you're going to go 5 out of 5, and to make it interesting, I will hopefully go 4 out of 5. So you have to get all 5 to win this.
All disputes will be settled by the chat. People in the live chat, if there is a dispute over an answer, because some of these questions are subjective, then it will be the chat to decide whether a person has got the question correct or not. So, Paul, your first question.
All right.
How many people can fit comfortably in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon? A, 6, B, 2, C, 5, or D, 4?
Okay, so is this one of the ones that you thought were subjective?
Yeah.
Okay, so being someone who's gone to Galaxy's Edge and been in the life-size replica of the Millennium Falcon, the answer is 6.
Yeah, the answer is 6.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, I concur. Yeah, I totally concur. The answer is 6. So, okay, so not as controversial. So let's go on to question 2. Okay, so the scene in episode 7 where Hux is addressing the First Order forces, what was the name of the base?
Starkiller Base.
Correct. You are correct, sir. Okay, on to question 3. How many credits did Obi-Wan agree to pay Han Solo for safe passage to Alderaan? A, 10k, B, 13k, C, 15k, or D, 17k?
Oh, wow.
Is Paul stumped?
I am stumped. I'm going to say 13.
The answer is D, 17.
17,000. Okay, so all I remember is that all he wanted was him, the boy, and 2 droids, and no questions asked. That's all I knew. That's all I remember.
We can pay you 2 now and 15 when we get to Alderaan. And Han sits back and goes, 17?
Okay.
You guys got yourselves a ship, so you got that wrong. Paul fell out. So question 4, here we go. What still canonical character is often incorrectly identified as being related to Jedi Master Yoda, despite never actually being referenced in the films, books, and animated shows as being from the same species?
Are they talking about Yaddle?
Correct, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Last question. What secret was hidden under the Jedi Temple on Coruscant? A, Sith Temple. B, Jedi Archive. C, Sith Shrine. Or D, a Sith Archive?
It would be a Sith Temple.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
So, 4
so
out of 5.
I was right. I got 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so here we go. The questions to ask Neil. Here we go. Who are the only 2 characters to appear in every
R2-D2 and C-3PO?
Yeah. You're supposed to let me finish the question at least.
Yeah, but you don't need to finish the question because I already knew the answer.
All right, number 2. What did Luke cut off Wampa with his lightsaber?
His arm.
I don't even have to read you the choices.
No.
All right. Here we go. Number 3. Let's see how quickly he answers this one, guys. With the Del Rey novelizations tossed out with the rest of the expanded universe when Disney purchased Lucasfilm, what was Star Wars' only remaining canonical matriarchal society at that moment?
That would be the Night Sisters.
Yes, that would be the Night Sisters. Is correct. All right, I'm gonna skip over number 4 because that's the one that I think you could fail at. That you might fail at, but I think you know it off the top of your head. All right, number 5. What battle or planet was the crossguard lightsaber first used in known combat? What battle or planet was the crossguard lightsaber first used in known combat? Here's a hint. Ezra Bridger finds one in Rebels.
Oh my god. My mind's drawn a blank.
All right, here are your choices. Mustafar, Moraband, Malachor, or Korriban?
Oh, my mind's completely gone blank. I'll go Malachor.
Your wild guess, your 25% chance paid off.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, no, it was 50-50 because there was 2 planets that I instantly discounted out of the 4 that you gave me, and I took I basically tossed a coin in my head as to which of the 2 that I knew it to be out of. So yeah, I know it's technically 25, but I knew that 2 of those answers were 100% incorrect. So it was a 50-50 chance because there was 2 left. I'm like, okay, it's got to be one of those 2. Okay.
All right, skipping back to number 4, and you probably will answer this before I finish the question. How many forms of communication is C-3PO fluent in?
6 million.
6 million is correct. That was the one that I missed. I thought it was 3 million.
So there we go. So I win.
Neil wins.
All hail Nev.
So there was our Patreon's choice. We did that because the Patreons asked us to.
Mm-hmm. Indeed they did. Indeed they did. Oh, we've just gone over the 2-hour mark.
We're about to hit 2 hours of the actual program itself, which this is about where we like to call it.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, if you are a Patreon, we'll see you in the Patreon after show live on our Discord server. We basically hang out there while I wait for everything to encode and upload through YouTube, and then I download it and put it on the podcast, and then I say goodnight. With that also being said, please do take care of yourselves. Please wash your hands. Take care of those around you who cannot take care of themselves. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And ladies and gentlemen, be nice to each other, damn it. With that being said, push us to 1,000. Nail! Push the button.
You got it, mate. Ta-ta for now, folks.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.